For decades, Brooke Logan and Rich Forrester have ruled the heart and soul of Forrester Creations. Their love story, their power, their influence seemed untouchable. But what if their greatest mistake wasn't loving each other, but underestimating Katie Logan? A quiet miscalculation may now be threatening the very foundation of the Forrester Dynasty. Today we reveal the mystery behind why Bridge dismissed Katie, and how that single error could bring everything crashing down. Brooke and Ridge have always believed they see everything coming. Ridge, the creative authority. Brooke, the business backbone. Together, they've acted as the gatekeepers of Forrester Creations, deciding who matters and who doesn't. Katie Logan, in their eyes, was never a threat. She was family but not competition. Reliable, emotional, supportive, and easily overlooked. That assumption would prove to be their most dangerous blind spot. While Bridge focused on power struggles, romantic drama, and corporate takeovers, Katie quietly studied the game. And she learned it better than they ever expected. The mystery begins with perception. Brooke and Ridge saw Katie as fragile, physically and emotionally. Her past health scares, her heartbreaks, and her role as the quieter Logan sister shaped their judgment. To Ridge, Katie lacked the ruthless edge required to survive in fashion's cutthroat world. To Brooke, Katie was someone who needed protection, not someone capable of leading a revolution. But underestimating someone isn't harmless. It's an invitation. Katie didn't challenge Bridge openly. She didn't demand recognition or fight for power. Instead, she observed. She watched Ridge's impulsive decisions. She noted Brooke's tendency to protect the Forrester name, even at the cost of family. Every time Bridge dismissed her opinion, Katie took mental notes. She learned where the cracks were forming inside Forrester Creations, and she knew exactly how to widen them. Silence for Katie wasn't a weakness. It was preparation. When Katie began developing her own fashion concept, Bridge barely reacted. Brooke offered polite encouragement. Ridge barely paid attention. To them it was a hobby, nothing more. But Katie's vision wasn't about competing with Forrester Creations. It was about redefining it. Her designs targeted modern buyers, ethical fashion, and a market Forrester had ignored for years. Investors noticed. The buyers listened. And suddenly Katie wasn't just relevant, she was dangerous. By the time Bridge realized this wasn't a side project, it was already too late. The Forrester Dynasty didn't crumble overnight. It weakened slowly, through ego, assumptions, and outdated thinking. Ridge believed creativity alone would always win. Brooke believed loyalty would keep the family intact. But they failed to see that power had shifted. Katie didn't need control of Forrester Creations to threaten it. She simply needed to prove there was a better way forward. And that shook everything Bridge stood for. The real mystery deepens when Bridge realizes Katie no longer needs them. Business deals begin slipping away. Designers start questioning leadership. Whispers grow louder. When Brooke allegedly shares sensitive information, thinking she's protecting the company, it backfires catastrophically. Instead of weakening Katie, it exposes Bridge's fear. Katie feels betrayed, but she doesn't collapse. She adapts. And that adaptability may be the final nail in the dynasty's coffin. Unlike past rivals, Katie doesn't attack emotionally. She doesn't sabotage recklessly. She makes calculated moves. She aligns with people Bridge ignored. She builds trust where Ridge burned bridges. She listens, something Forrester leadership stopped doing long ago. This quiet power terrifies Brooke more than any hostile takeover ever could. Because it reveals a painful truth. Katie has become everything Forrester Creations is no longer. As sales shift and influence erodes, panic sets in. Ridge becomes defensive. Brooke grows emotional. Their unity cracks under pressure. For the first time, Bridge isn't the center of the fashion universe, and they don't know how to function without that control. They underestimated Katie because they never imagined she'd outgrow them. The dynasty isn't just a company, it's a legacy. And legacies fall when they refuse to evolve. Katie represents change. The Bridge represents tradition. If Forrester Creations doesn't adapt, it risks becoming irrelevant. The ultimate mystery isn't whether Katie intended to threaten the dynasty. It's whether the dynasty deserves to survive in its current form. Everything is building toward a reckoning. A moment where Brooke must choose between family loyalty and corporate survival. Where Ridge must confront the consequences of dismissing someone he never truly understood. And Katie? She stands at the center. Not as a villain but as a force of inevitability. Whether she wants it or not, her rise may mark the end of an era. Bridge underestimated Katie, and now the future of the Forrester dynasty hangs by a thread. Will they adapt before it's too late? Or will Katie's quiet revolution change the bold and the beautiful forever? What do you think? Was Katie always the real power player? Like, comment, and subscribe for more exclusive BNB mysteries, spoilers, and shocking revelations.